Hi, my name is Jerry and I collect 1970s toys and toy soldiers, and in this video I'm doing the opposing forces of the German Afrika Korps I did a video on a few weeks back. And that's of course this set, the British 8th Army, also known as the Desert Rats. So the thing is, does these really hold up to the quality of that set, which I think is fantastic, as these are both sculpted by Ron Cameron. So as these sets of course are opposing forces in a set conflict area, you know, we used to battle these out as kids between each other, the Afrika Korps and the 8th Army. And so sometimes there's some discussion of which is the better set, you know, online. People are talking about this, and I think sometimes it's not so much about which set is better than the other. It's just that which ones we preferred or actually had as a kid. I think that might reflect a lot how we look at these. But as these both are Airfix, I think they're better than most other toy soldier sets available at the time. And this one is kind of a split thing for me. I kind of view myself like an allied kid, you know. But when I really look back into my childhood and what sets I wanted to buy, and which I had, I think I actually preferred the German side. And those sets, you know, the German Infantry, Afrika Korps, and the paratroopers. And as always, I'll go through some of the boxes, go through the figures, and then at the end do the spinning around close-up thing if you want to have another look at the figures. So this set was first released in about 1970-71 as a second wave. You know, in 69 you had the first 5 sets that Airfix released. And this is part of like what you could call a second wave, I guess, together with the Afrika Korps and Japanese infantry and some more. But yeah, and the first box looks like this. And as always, super cool artwork. You see in the troops, it's almost like you're moving with the troops, moving up into the battle. There's a lot of smoke back there. And I really like these that actually still had the background on. You'll see that on the target box, they actually removed that. But yeah, so really, really neat cover, or front, I should say, at the back. This one has the brown, as I call them, the brown back. Some of the other sets available at the time. The sides show a few of the figures in the set. And then in 72 you get this one, which changed to the round badge. That's pretty much it for the front, or actually for the back as well, because not much changed except for which sets were available, because then they had added the footballers as well. And then we get into the target box, my favorite. And not only did the graphics change on this, actually the artwork changed, as you can see here. More from the side, I think a little bit more defined watercolor painting on these, and actually on this one you can actually see some of the figures actually in the set here, the officer, the submachine gunner, the running soldier, and you didn't have that on the brown box one. So 73 brought us the target box. They changed a few things on the side here. You can actually also see some other stuff that they had started releasing, like the plastic vehicles and the buildings. And then, so that was 73 then, and then 76 you get this one. They changed the colors a bit on the target there. And on the back you actually get both English and French on this one. Also should be available in German, I think. Before it was just English, and they added a little bit of a background story on the 8th Army, and then they added a second language to that. And then for the 1978 box, it didn't change much. This is the British Commandos, just to show you, because I can't really find this type box. Really only thing that changed is that the writing is horizontal on this one instead. And they actually put 3 languages on the back instead of 2, so there's English, German and French on each box. But they were available in the smaller boxes, this type, in 77, 78 for some reason. And for the 90-80 super packs, they were not available, and they didn't resurface again until 1986 actually, with the Humbrol boxes. And then in 2009, actually Hornby, that had bought up Airfix a few years earlier, released them in a, I think we call them red boxes, I'm not sure. But now for the latest release, which is available now on Hornby's website, or Airfix website I should say, they're not available in those vintage classic boxes. So a lot of box talk, I know, hope you're not bored. I like the boxes, and because that's what you kind of saw on the shelf, you know, for the first time, and then opening up and see what's inside. So I think they're pretty important for how I feel about all these cool sets. But anyways, let's just move on to the figures. You get 29 figures in a set in 7 different poses. In this set though, there's no grenade throwing soldier, and I would really have liked to swap out the walking soldier for a soldier throwing a grenade. All the soldiers are wearing pretty much the same gear, with shorts, helmets, except for the officer. I think uniform gear and weapons are all pretty good representation of the real stuff. And this is just such a great set when it comes to, you know, the sculpts, the quality of it, the natural looking dynamics and everything. It's just so nice. And out of the 7 different poses, you get this many per pose. You get 2 officers, 4 running soldiers, 5 walking soldiers, 5 standing riflemen, 4 kneeling riflemen, 5 submachine gunners, and 4 prone machine gunners. First, the officer. In this set, it's actually the only set from Airfix where you get 2 officers. And for me, I really like officers engaging in combat, you know, leading from the front with some kind of a weapon. And in this case, as with many of the officers from Airfix, it's just a pistol, or actually a revolver, the Webley in this case. And I think with the whole 8th Army set, I think the proportions of these figures are so nice as far as how thick the limbs are and how everything works together. Looks very natural and not very cartoonish at all as some other toy soldier manufacturers. The thing with all the 8th Army soldiers though is that they feel a bit small if you compare them, like with a rifleman for instance, compared to like a German rifleman. He seems a little bit, tiny little bit smaller, and so does the officer. And as far as equipment goes, as always with Airfix, really sparse, but the details are really nice. Holster for the revolver, water canteen. But the big thing with these and some of the Airfix sets is the faces. They are just so good on these figures. A couple of these figures also have a little problem with how they sculpted them and casted them. This one sometimes, I think you've seen this, it kind of leans forward like this. Maybe because how it's been laying in the box or something. So it looks like it's kind of pointing downwards and you have to do the heating the figure and try to get that sorted out. But other than that, I love this figure. Next up, kneeling rifleman. I did this one because this is also part of the problem. The foot and the knee sometimes come off the plate. I don't think the foot was ever supposed to be connected to the bottom plate, but the knee is. And it ends up like this, the foot kind of hanging in the air like that in a weird way. Other than that though, this is a very nice shooting position. The way his butt is actually placed on the heel of the boot. And then the way the elbow is in front of the knee like that in the soft part of the elbow. This is a very nice stable shooting position to actually also be able to repeat shot after shot in a good stable manner. One thing is, if you compare this soldier to the German Afrika Korps soldier, which is actually a lousier shooting position, but I think a better looking figure because it looks a lot more dynamic when he's shooting like that. So sometimes realism is not great for toy soldiers. It kind of makes more sense to make them dynamic and fun instead. In this set, I think the rifles are good representation. I'm not sure if this is an SMLE or number 4. Some people are going to correct me either way, so you let me know in the comments. The back is pretty sparse, water canteen and a bayonet, which is good enough. Standing rifleman is really good, I think. Very dynamic, leaning into the shot like this. Elbow tucked in. I'm not much of a chicken wing guy. It's not that great to have body parts sticking out if you're shooting from behind cover. One thing though with a lot of toy soldiers is you see the feet are kind of in line. Even the right foot is more on the left of the left foot, and this is really a bad shooting position if you want to have a stable platform. You need to have, you know, your feet shoulder width apart. But I think for casting and the way they look, like dynamic, going forward, moving like a forward motion, this is a lot better for toy soldiers to do it like this. He's got his ammo pouches, he's got his bayonet, and of course on the back, the water canteen. Cool. Running and walking soldier, not really all that excited. The walking soldier, I think the way he's holding the rifle like this, it's a very strange way. You wouldn't march like this, so I'm not sure what he's doing. And I would really have seen this figure swapped out for a soldier throwing a grenade instead. But other than that, really good sculpt. I think the running soldier is nice. I would really have liked the rifle to be pointing a little bit more forward so you can actually play that he was shooting while he was running. But I think the pose of the running soldier is really good. It looks really natural and really looks like a person running. Some toy soldiers don't really do that all that well. Submachine gunner. Sometimes the soldier is like really basic, but there's still something to it. And it's just the little thing with how he's leaning forward into, you know, managing the recoil that looks really good. And I think he would look great on the cover of one of those old comic book, military comic book magazines from the 70s. I think in England they were called Commandos. In Sweden we have a few different ones. Everything well sculpted, nice clean lines, everything very crisp. The Thompson is kind of a mismatch of everything. It's not an M1A1 and it's not the older version, because the older version with the pistol grip that he's holding, then the charging handle here should actually be on top of the machine gun. Here it's on the side. So this is a mismatch, not really all that correct. Last but not least, the force multiplier, the machine gunner. And this is like the big bummer, I think, of the set. making a machine gunner, prone machine gunner, that's not firing his gun. Even though this is a very funky position, I used to play this as a kid as a firing soldier, even though from a very strange firing position. But I thought it was good enough to do that. Maybe the decision to make him like this is just to break up all the other machine gunners that Ron Cameron made, prone machine gunners being all the same. He maybe just wanted to do something fun and do a different figure. So that said, I mean, it's a very nice, natural looking figure. If you look at it from this angle, I think the way the legs are positioned and the whole body, I think this is very nicely done. And judging from a lot of other toy soldier companies, this is actually easier said than done. Great figure, even though it could have been done better. So that's it for this video pretty much. Just stick around for the close-ups, and also please like and subscribe. And I'm saying that not just because I want like a lot of subscribers or nothing. It's just because the YouTube algorithms, first of all, if you don't subscribe, you're gonna lose track of this channel pretty quick when you watch all those cat videos or shark attack videos, whatever you're watching, when you're not watching this. And also it says to the algorithm that, wow, this is a channel and videos that people are finding interesting, and then actually going to start suggesting it to other people our age that I think will also like this. Because I mean, I can't see that there's not a guy in like almost the whole of the planet that didn't have some of these toy soldiers when they were a kid back in the 70s. So there's a lot of people I think that should see these videos, and we can help sharing that by liking, subscribing, and all the good stuff. But anyways, that's enough about that. Catch you guys in another video. Cheers.